right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to officially the first podcast, episode 1. This is going to be my first night on a trip to Mexico. Now, we've had several trips to Mexico, but nothing like this one. Man, oh man, we're about to get into this story. So thank you guys for tuning on in, and looking forward to it. So a couple years ago, cool, my mother and I went on a trip to Mexico. Now, this is the first trip that I actually ever went on with my mom. Actually, the second. I went to Hawaii when I was really, really young. But otherwise, we're going to Cancun. It's 7:30 in the morning. Gotta break the day in with a nice fresh shoddy, you know what I mean? Now, I actually have this video saved on my Snapchat, and I was going to put it in this podcast, but I think it's a little bit too vulgar, and you'd see why. But if you want to see it, hit me up. I'll send you this video. Shotgun, 7:30 in the morning, and you know, when you have an empty stomach, you wake up, shoddy a beer, and it's something's wrong. Starts digesting, it starts erupting like a science project. Sitting there trying to get these burps out, and I said, these burps aren't coming out. All of a sudden, projectile vomit all over my mom's rug. It's funny because she'd always give me shit. This is in the early stages of the channel, and I was just wild, completely wild. She would give me shit because every morning she'd go to work and she'd be like, God damn it, Brock, why the hell every morning this goddamn rug is soaked? In the middle of the night, my lazy degenerate ass would just take the water filter and just waterfall it into my mouth all over the place, all over the floor, and just kind of leave it. So I thought it was kind of funny, especially in the video. She got mad about water, and then just a huge projectile vomit all over the rug. Anyways, fast forwarding to on the plane. Send a few more beers on there, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 more beers on the flight. You gotta get ready for when you land, right? But nothing like the stag party that shared the flight with us, and it was at the same resort. Great bunch of guys. Almost like a Wolf of Wall Street flight without the cocaine and hookers. Man, these guys drank and drank since we lifted off till we landed. These guys were totally obliterated by the time we got off. Shared a bus with them, cranking more beers the whole way there. Now, why I mention these guys is because there was a story that they told me later on in the week, told me and O'Cool rather, that they went to a local strip club off the resort. And the guy who was about to get married suffered a jackhammer. Now, I'm sure all you guys know what this is, but I didn't because I didn't know the name for it. Lo and behold, the stripper was on her hands, put her ankles rested on his shoulders, and just started repeatedly slamming her ass into his face. I'm sure you've seen these, and he says the expression on his face after each impact was to die for. And you know what? I said, damn, that sounds dangerous, man. I could break a nose or lose some teeth. How aggressive that sounded. The jackhammer. Anyways, we land. We take a bus to the resort. I think we arrive there around dinner time, maybe 5 or 6, maybe even 7. You know, Cool and my mother sit down and have a few beers. You know, it's the first night. Let's get a little loose. You know, we made it off the flight. Sent a couple of beers for not for dinner, but with dinner. And then lo and behold, my mom starts ordering tequila. My man. 5 to 7 shots of tequila each later. Now, I didn't want one. Yeah, maybe one. One's fine. But not to start off, you know, take it a little easy. No. So we had dinner, we're buzzing, we go back to the hotel. It's about 10:30 now, and O'Cool's lit. Oh, cool's lit. He's a solid 9.9 out of 10. I'm decently buzzed, I suppose. Laying on the bed, watching some, maybe some MythBusters or Ancient Aliens or something, as O'Cool reclines back the whole time with his eyes closed, thinking to himself, "Man, I feel so sick. I can hold it down, but I can just, I can just get through it. I feel sick and I feel like shit, but if I close my eyes and just maybe it'll all go away." Just randomly into watching, mind my own business. All of a sudden, projectile vomit across the floor, across the room, on the floor between both beds. Just out of nowhere, just a launch. I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? Like, you can't go to the washroom. He's like, dude, I'm sorry, see. I'm like, alright, whatever, dude. This guy's lit. I'm like, this sucks. So I go into the washroom. I get a shit ton of toilet paper. There's no, like, Scott towels. I don't want to use a towel, man. Tons of toilet paper, cleaning it up, whatever. Throw it all into the toilet, flush it. Uh-oh. The water starts coming up, starts rising. And it's not one of those flooded toilets where it's like, oh, it's plugged, so I better not flush it again because it'll overflow. No, I flushed it. Shit starts overflowing. It's pooling now, violently, all over the floor, into the bathroom. I'm looking around. No plunger to be seen. Not a single plunger. So first thing that comes to my mind, let's give it a quick couple CPR pumps. Elbow deep in the can. 3 good pumps. And it worked. The sucker unclogged. Flushed her down. That's all cleaned up. O'Cool's probably feeling better. I'm laying there and I'm like, you know what? That sucked. That's bullshit. I want to fucking have some fun. I want to get lit too. So I'm like, whatever. See O'Cool. He's sobering up, whatever. Leave him. Go to the local discoteca. It's on the resort. It's a club on the resort. Get there, really wanted to cut loose at this point. I arrived there and there's maybe about 20 people, maybe 30, about a handful on the dance floor. It's kind of just like walking into a bare club of NPCs on GTA 5 or maybe even The Sims. So I'm like, all right, we got to loosen these people up. So I go to the bar, all inclusive. I order 3 platters of beer. It's probably about 10 beers on each, give or take 1. Order 3 platters of beer, bring it back to the dance floor. There's 2 tables around the dance floor, then the stage behind. I put the trays in. I'm like, who wants some beers? I tip the guy that had to pour them all. Say, who wants some beers? Unfortunately, sort of crickets. And apparently, one guy with his girlfriend, he says, hell yeah, man, I'll take a beer. I'm like, hey, beer, dude, have 5. Come on, let's get loose. So that guy had one. Maybe one other person had another. Lo and behold, 24 beers down later myself. I don't know, lost track of time at this point. Maybe an hour, 30 to 45 minutes. In, those are done. Before this all this started, I did see 2 friends that my mom made, middle-aged women that were on the same flight, the same bus ride. It's like an hour ride to the resort, so you chit-chat, small talk, and get to know one another. They were there, so I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? And this was kind of before, see, I went into party mode. But after that, feeling pretty lit. Maybe I'm like an 8.5 now. All these beers are in the belly, having a good time. I go and sit down with the ladies, see what they're up to. Now, I don't remember. This could be on me. It could be on them. But that's when the tequila started rolling out. The shots and shots and shots of tequila. Dirty tequila, I can remember. Not quality, They think maybe you're lit enough and you won't tell. But I know. I always know. Anyways, I'm probably a solid 9.5 at this point. Pretty lit, chit-chatting. obliterated, maybe walking around kind of half zombie mode. Maybe after you have a few shots on GTA and he's stumbling. I thought I'm having a great old time. You know, I thought things were great. Maybe I was more of Barry off Beer Fest when he was had the asshole. He played asshole and they made him drink and drink and drink, and he wandered around the club thinking he's super fine. Goes in the washroom looking slick, but he looks totally destroyed and obliterated, making people maybe feel uncomfortable, maybe a little bit too lit. Next thing I know, two people that work there come up to me and kind of whisper in my ear and say, "Sir, it's time to go." Like, we're having a great time. What do you mean? It's like, I think honestly, thinking back on it, I think it's because I'm a liability. If I get hurt or do something, maybe it's on them. So they come and say, "Let's go." They escort me out of there. They got two guys on each side, and my arms are around them, and I'm kind of stumbling. It's a spiral staircase down. I mean, if you're sober, it's hard enough to walk down. So I think it felt like 10 minutes just getting down those damn stairs. We get out the doors. I see two more men standing, maybe three, with a wheelchair. I'm like, "Is that for me?" They're like, "Sir, sit down." They put me in this wheelchair, man. My, oh my. They start wheeling me back. I'm talking about stuff. They're just like, "Let's get this." They're trying to get this drunk idiot home, right? So anywho, they're like, "Where's your suite?" I'm like, "I have no clue, man." Blabbering on. I think they had to call the lobby, look up our name to locate what room we were at. I finally arrive there. They knock on the door. O'Cool. By this time, O'Cool sobered up. It's probably been 2 or 3 hours. Opens the door, sees three men. O'Cool sitting in the wheelchair, says, "What's going on, O'Cool?" He's like, in his head, he's thinking, what the actual fuck? He thought that they had some wheelchair for a handicapped guy, that I stole it. I'm like, "I would never do that." He's like, they thought that they got a handicapped chair out for some guy, a wheelchair out for some handicapped guy, and I just planted my ass in it. That wasn't the case. The wheelchair was for me. I was the handicapped guy. So I say, "Thanks, boys." I gave him another 200 pesos. Like, "Thanks for the ride." Like a taxi or Uber or something. We get in there. By this point, me and O'Cool have basically switched roles of how lit we are. He's sobered up now, or at the same point I was before. I'm fucking... The alcohol's starting to soak in. Things are bad. Thank God they got me home. Now, at this point, I am probably alcohol poisoned. More or less. I just remember laying on the floor at the end of my bed, on the ground, face down, just so drunk I can't get up, and I'm just like, I gotta puke, but fuck it, and I just puke. Just blah, puke on the floor, laying in my puke. It's on my shirt, it's everything. It's the same replica shirt of what I wear on Friday Night Lit Lives. Love that shirt. I had to go back and buy a new one once we got back. Anyways, Hoku's like, "Dude, like, you gotta get up, man. Like, you're fucking, like, what are you doing, man? You're so lit right now. I'm destroyed." So he kind of gets me up. We're cleaning it up. I'm kind of helping him at this point. I think I feel a little bit better. A lot better. After that, few throw-ups. I think there was a few. Few on the trash can before that. One on the floor. Cleaning that up, at this point, it's a disaster. We're using towels. I take my shirt off, it's destroyed. Using towels, cleaning it all up. There's puke on the bed sheets. Take that, throw it in the shower, everything in the fucking shower. What a disaster, what a disaster. So, later on, I guess maybe somewhat sober up, go to bed. Middle of the night, I wake up, I have to pee. Maybe it's from all those beers. I gotta pee. I get up. Lo and behold, maybe I didn't clean. Maybe I didn't mop up as much water from the CPR flood incident. Apparently, it exceeded the bathroom. I remember walking to the bathroom, la-di-da, kind of still, just making my way there. I'm alive. As soon as I get to the threshold of the door, my bare feet sweep from under me, just like a movie, fall straight on the back of my head, on the concrete floor, on the tile. Instant concussion for sure. I remember my brain slamming against the ground and thinking, laying there, ouch, that's gonna hurt in the morning. That was bad. So after that, I get up, so tired, so drunk still, pull down my pants to take a piss, stumbling around the toilet, just pissing forever, and pants down just like above the knees, almost like that one kid from early grade school that you walk into the bathroom and he's standing at the urinal with his pants around his ankles just pissing. I pulled one of those for the first time in my life. And boy, what a bad idea. I think it almost worked as like a trip line holding my knees together. I remember standing and flop. I fell right over, out. Ass out, pants around the ankles, just done, gone. I decided to maybe finish the rest of my night on the floor. Oh, cool. Gets up in the middle of the night. He's got a piss too. Looks over. Where's CA? Goes to the washroom, turns on the light, sees my ass sticking out around the toilet, having a good old nap. First thing he does, goes back, grabs my phone, swipes it open, snaps a picture, pisses in the sink, goes back to bed, leaves me there. Couple hours later, I don't know, maybe 3. It's gotta be late. It's gotta be early as hell in the morning now. I wake up, I make my way back to bed, finally, to end off the night. But oh no, it doesn't really end there. Wake up in the morning, not feeling like P. Diddy. Wake up in the morning, oh my lord, my head. I am concussed, I am hungover, I feel dead. I feel completely dead. Look over at O'Cool. He's already up watching TV. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, what the fuck happened last night, dude? I'm like, you tell me, man. You tell me, bro. So I go grab my phone, open it. It opens to the pictures, and I find the picture of my ass. I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like, oh yeah, I tried to go to the washroom last night. And yeah, I found that. I'm like, so you just snapped a pic and left me there? He's like, yeah, dude, fuck. I'm like, I had a piss in the sink too, so thanks for that. Wow. So anywho, it's about we upgraded after that. I feel so bad. There's 2 sides of the resort. There's just a normal, the Wi-Fi was shit. I couldn't do lives. It's just basic room, not that great. We upgraded to the VIP area after that, and which was very nice. It's worth it. Some balconies had pools and hot tubs on it. Great, really nice renovated, great stone showers, etc., etc. I felt bad. Because of the war zone, of how incredibly destroyed this room was. Towels all gone in the shower, sheets gone in the shower, crap everywhere, half scuffed cleaned bathroom or room, still puke everywhere. My shirt's in there. I left a note. I'm so sorry, darling. It was a wild night last night. Left $50. First night, see, is already down like $100, just tipping these poor people. But no, I felt bad. I gave her like 500 pesos or something. We upgrade, leave that room abandoned. It's about 11:12 the next day. The swim up bar is now open. So we're sitting at the swim up bar. And we met so many nice people already. Great people having fun. I don't remember the conversation, but I'm sitting next to a friend, Scarlett. I'm going through my phone because we had a conversation of maybe I seen a parrot or this toucan I took a picture of. It was really cool. I wanted to show her. Not thinking anything of it. Swiping through. She's looking at my phone. I'm looking at my phone. Lo and behold, I swipe to the picture that Oh Cool does. We're looking at it. Ass out around the toilet. She's like, "Is that you?" Like, "I'm sorry. Forgot about that picture. Rough night last night." I think that wraps up first night on a trip to Mexico. But wild story. But before we get into that, Kyler Pittman has a crazy drinking party story for us as well. So let's give it a listen before we wrap up the end of this podcast, shall we? All right.
To make a long story short, I was 17. First time I got to drink with my mom's permission, and we played beer pong with moonshine.
Damn.
And, well, long story short is I pissed on my friend's head in the pool. Then pretty much knocked out, and then woke up to condoms on my feet, condoms on my hands, and stood up on hardwood floor and busted my fucking ass, and thought I was gonna die.
Oh, buddy. Thanks for that. Thank you so much for that. Moonshine beer pong. Can't say I've ever done that. Vodka. I think we did it with vodka once. That's definitely ending in a bad night. Thanks for that submission, buddy, and for sharing that. He also sent me a text of another story. He got so drunk and obliterated, his buddies dropped him off at his house, leaned up against his door, played a ding-dong ditch or nicky-nicky nine door, knocked on the door and ran away waiting for the wife to answer. Just drunk and out of it, leaning against the door. What does she do? She opens it. As she opens the door, he falls flat on his face. What a story, man. What a story. Well, I think that wraps up our first podcast and our first episode here on Challenge Accepted Podcast. Thank you guys for joining in. If you guys want any to do any video submissions, I'll be making Snapchat posts before I record the episode, so you guys can do submissions just like that. So thank you so much for the submissions. I want to keep that segment going, so thank you. Comment down below 2 things for me, guys. One thing you'd like me to tell you guys about or talk about in the next podcast, in the next episode. And leave me your craziest drinking story. All right, ladies and gents. I think that wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining me on the first one. It's been an honor. It's been great. I'm looking forward to these. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you do, please leave a like. It means more than you know. Until next episode, guys. Take care. Be safe. To health.